All right, let's get started by learning how to use some of the basic features in GarageBand so you can have success recording your audio conversation. I'm going to start by opening the GarageBand app here. It'll take you to a screen that looks something like this. I click on the plus button at the top to start a new project, and we're going to work with the voice recording to get started here, although GarageBand can do so much more. Now we're set to go. We just want to set up a few more features, so we're ready to begin. Up at the top, you'll hear kind of a clicking sound or a metronome sound when you click record. That's this metronome icon, and if I tap on it, it moves from blue to white, and I know that I won't have that metronome sound in my recording. I'm then going to tap on this gears icon. We're going to turn on the fade out feature. So as we start or end, we'll be able to fade out of the sound or music that we create. And finally, the last thing we need to do here is click the plus button. We don't want our recording to be limited to just 8 bars. So we tap Section A, Automatic, and now it can be as long as we want it to be. Last thing to know on this screen before we click record is that if your volume is too high or too low, you can adjust it with this slider here to turn the microphone up or down. But we're ready to get started. I'm going to change my lead vocals here by tapping on it to just a simple radio ready sound that eliminates any of the weird background echo that you might get. And we're ready to go. I'm going to click on the red record button. It's counting me in here, but now I'm ready to go. And while you are recording, you don't necessarily want to hit stop every time you stumble or laugh or someone makes a mistake. You can always change that later or edit it out in the editing stage, which we're about to move to now. I'm going to hit the stop button, that white square, and now that I've got my first track recorded, we're going to go to the tracks icon, which is right here. That takes us to our editing track, and we've got our first track ready to move. It's helpful to know that we can turn that volume up and down on each track, and we do that with the settings icon here. So I'm going to tap on that, and each track we can adjust the volume just by turning it up or down. So if you need something louder, you can do it that way. And when you're done making those changes, you simply tap the settings icon again, and you're ready to go. Now, if you want to make an edit, I'm going to drag the playhead to the place where I want to make that edit. I'm going to tap twice on the waveform that I want to change. And here I'm going to split. And I drag down that scissors icon, and you can see that I have now 2 different objects. If I do that again, I now can remove areas where I may be paused or had too much sound. So I'm going to delete that out, and then I can adjust here. If you want to add some musical background or sound effects, you're going to use the loops button here. I'm just going to grab a loop. I tap and drag it out, and this is going to add some musical interest. I'd like to shorten it up. So now I've got a nice musical interlude to begin that's fading in and out. I've got my audio recording here, and I can add more loops at the end if I want to do so. Now that I've got it all set the way that I'd like it, let's just go back to the main page, which is the far left icon. I'm going to select my song that I was just working on, and we're going to share that out as a song so others can listen to it, and I'm selecting the share button from here. Now, if I want to just keep this on my iPad, then I'm going to save it to my Files app. But if I want to share it with others, I can airdrop it, email it, send it to Google Drive, and then share with them that way. And that's how you use GarageBand for the iPad.